Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to start our 7th chapter, that is force and pressure. And in this chapter we will discuss about the terms of pressure, the units of pressure, the hydraulic systems, and the gas pressure, and the uses of gas pressure, applications of gas pressures in the form of aerosols, and the atmospheric pressure. First of all, you have listened the words pressure, such as gas pressure, water pressure, blood pressure, and also the atmospheric pressure. In our daily life, we will have listened these words, and today we are going to discuss about the pressure, force, and the area. Look at the diagram. When water flows out from the tap and with the greater speed, and you will take your palm under that pressure, you will feel a high pressure from that tap of water. The force that you are facing, or your hand palm is facing by that tap water, that is the pressure. The force that is not actually acting on our hand palm is the pressure. And pressure can be defined out as the force acting on normally on an area, the surface of the object, that is the pressure. Here the pressure is determined by the by the symbol P, and force is determined by the symbol F, and area is as symbol A. If you write these symbols in the symbol form, then this can be written as in this way: P is equal to F over A. In this, you can see by this equation that here is the pressure, this is the force, and this is the area. And you can see that pressure and area both are inversely proportional to each other. It means that if one quantity will increase, then the other quantity will decrease. Here, when the pressure is increased, if the area is higher or increased, then the pressure will be lower. And if the area is the smallest, then pressure will be highest. And pressure and the force both are directly proportional to each other. It means that if the pressure will increase, then force will also increase, and if force is decreased, then pressure will also decrease on an area. Remembering these principles that we have deducted from the expression or the relation of the force, here look at this activity. Here we have the sand in the beaker and in two plates, plate 1 and plate 2, and we have some wedges that have the definite shape. We have the two identical plates. We will fill the plates with this wet sand and make the sand surface plane. Here you can see that we have made the surface plane, and when we place the wedge on this, the broader edge side downward, then there is the less change or less depth in the wet sand can be seen. And if the wedge is towards its not toward the depth, when we put it towards it, it will produce the more depth in the sand. Here you can see that if the area is highest, here is the area is highest, it means that the pressure will be low. So pressure will be low, and that's why we have the less depth in this wet sand. And in this we have the this type needle-like type of that wedge, so it will produce its area is the less, so it will produce more pressure, so the depth is more in this. And in the next we have a glass jar, two identical plates and wet sand too. We have filled the plates with wet sand and leveled the surface. We place the empty jar on plate 1, and when we pick the jar up, you can see that the depth of the mark on the sand surface, And next we have in the plate 2 we have filled the jar with some. We filled that jar. Here is the jar is empty, and in the plate 2 we have filled it. And then now you can see the depth is more. It means that the force is more in this, and the pressure will also high. And if the force is less, then the pressure will low. So this depth on the sand is showing us the pressure of the jar on the sand plate that is produced. And here look at the two shoes. A woman that is wearing a high heels, she will exert more pressure on the carpeted floor as compared to the man who is wearing the broad heel shoes. Hope this idea of pressure will be clear to you. Thank you.